Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Woo, look at me all disheveled on a Sunday. It is Sunday fun day. Today is September the 20th, and this is our daily get-together, Coffee and Headlines, in its Sunday edition, where nothing is sacred, no one is safe. We don't talk about news today. We just try to have a good time with whatever quirky nonsense I come up with and whatever quirky nonsense you contribute. And this week I was very lucky because a couple of you sent me some juicy tidbits that I am now able to share with everyone, and I am just so happy. If you are new to these broadcasts, we carry on in the most civilized way from Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday we just let our hair loose. Not me, I've done that too much already. My name is Paco. If you are new to these broadcasts and you landed here for the first time on a Sunday, just don't hold it against us. But do let us know that you're new. Do let us know that you're tuning in for the first time by writing the word new in your comments, and we will be so very happy to acknowledge you. And you can spend the rest of the broadcast just hiding away in embarrassment if you want. It's okay. Everything goes, just don't get nasty at one another. So let's see who's here. Craig is here. Trucha is here. Bill, Karen, Mike. Welcome to Romper Room. Sly. Hello, Sean. Lisa, Ron, Raymond, David. All great friends that join us just about every day. It's always great to see you. Eric, my new favorite developer. Eric Robb. You guys should meet Eric Robb because there are a lot of developers in this town that are building swanky condominium buildings, many of which don't look like anything that has anything to do with Puerto Vallarta. And we don't hold that against them. We just wish them insomnia. But Eric is repurposing buildings, and in doing so, he is using as much of a local Mexican sensibility as possible, and that's why we like him. And the moment he veers away from that line of work and that mindset of trying to keep our city looking like our city, we will wish him insomnia as well. But not now. He's still our very good friend, and hopefully he will remain our very good friend for a long time. Good morning, Eric. Sorry to pin on you, but you were there, and I like your new project, and I hope everything goes well with it. Anyhow, Brian Sieve hasn't looked at my tummy in a long time because he says, good morning, beautiful humans. I'm only beautiful in the inside sometimes. My tummy, I have coronavirus in my belly. It really is. It's one of those things. Trying out the Sunday wine day, says Deb. I think that's a beautiful idea. I'm going to reach out for some wine in a little while. Lots of great comments. That's my stage name, of course. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Buenos dias, Paco. The Romper Room teacher never said my name when I was a kid. Well, the Romper Room teacher said mine. So that's why I feel happy about saying your your names. Repurposing buildings. Yes, Eric rocks. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Anyhow, today we're going to go into three basic areas of nonsense. Number one, we are going to celebrate a little bit more double entendre because we've been doing quite well with double entendre. And then we're going to talk about some great finds that I found. Hello. We're going to talk about finds that I found on YouTube that you might enjoy. And then I'm going to tell you a great story about a quirky musical instrument by a quirky composer and a quirky inventor. And you're going to be so thrilled about this story that you're going to be like, wait, just play the song. And I won't be able to because of YouTube, you know the drill. But I'm going to leave you the links in the show notes. But first, I want to make sure that you are aware of the bad things that can happen when you are in a Zoom call and you leave your microphone on. This happened to someone in this conference call. I thought you'd be amused. Please be amused, at least a little bit. Do I have laughter? Do I have a laughter track? No, I have an applause track. Anyhow, I thought that was funny when I saw it. Now that I'm looking at it, it just doesn't seem that funny anymore. Anyhow, back to me. Let me start with some double entendre. My friend Logan, who went to the movies with me, sent me a reaction video to a book that somebody was reading out loud on the internet, on YouTube or wherever. And the name of the book was Put Tony's Nuts in Your Mouth. That is correct. Put Tony's Nuts in Your Mouth. That's the name of the book. It's a children's book, or it looks like a children's book. It was written by Bimisi Tayanita and illustrated by some guy in Bangladesh. We certainly think that that is a stage name, some guy in Bangladesh. Anyhow, this book is beautifully illustrated with gorgeous poetry and talks about this guy, Tony, who has big nuts and he has small nuts. And then there's things like, people that go by his nuts, they drive or walk or ride the bus. They come from north and south to take those hot and salty nuts and put them in their mouths. So it's a beautiful, beautiful story about this guy and his nuts. Oh, but then there's another one. Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. Another choice, beautiful, lovely book. And I figured, what is going on with these books? And are they really a children's book or not? So I decided I needed to do some research. And let me not get ahead of myself. Where is my other window? Boom, 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 boom. Here it is. I went and did some research, and it turns out that these people, these guys, have a publishing company, and the publishing company is called Reach Around Books, and they have beautiful tomes, such as, well, let me take a look at season one. Season one included Susie Likes to Look at Balls, Come Swing with Us, Spank the Monkey Lends a Hand, of course, the aforementioned Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber, and then Put Tony's Nuts in Your Mouth. And these are absolutely beautiful. And if you go onto YouTube, and I'll leave you a couple of choice bookmarks of people reading these things out loud, and it's actually very funny. But then the Tony's Nuts in Your Mouth gets even funnier, because in looking at some of the text that they write about this, they say, take a look at some of this illustration. Some say Tony's nuts smell great. He knows your mom will take them home and suck on them tonight. And Stephen grabs at his nut sack and finds a big old pear. I tell you, these are just wholesome, beautiful books. But then, what it says here is, curious but not concerned as to where they would sleep that night, Bimisi Tayanita and some guy in Bangladesh aimlessly meandered down the cobblestone calles of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Huh? What? As the sun dipped into the Pacific, they found themselves sequestered by a weathered native nut peddler. apparently named Tony, who mimed towards his cart and through guttural broken English encouraged them to put Tony's nuts in your mouth. 60 pesos later, as a cold cerveza complimented the first of Tony's nuts, pen was put to parchment and book 4 of season 1 came to be. I mean, how crazy is that? Has this got anything to do with Puerto Vallarta for real or what? But what is really funny is that the whole marketing campaign behind these books is just priceless. And because if you read the about on who they are, apparently Bimisi Tayanita is Indian, as in feather, not dot. And some guy in Bangladesh is Indian, as in dot, not feather. Get it? I got it. I hope you got it, because I thought it was really funny. And now they're working on season 2 of their books, and season 2 will include Lucy Lickalotopus Goes Down South, Jiggle Wiggle Pickle Tickle, Who Will Help Jack Off the Horse? Who will help Jack off the horse? Of course, that's what I meant. Brenda's Beaver plays around, and Peter pitched a tent. So I think these are absolutely priceless. I think there are a couple of people to whom I've already decided what kind of holiday presents they're going to receive. So if you're not familiar with these, I strongly recommend them. And again, I'm going to share some reaction videos with you that I've seen in YouTube, because they are absolutely funny. Quick look at reactions. And I'm glad that Paul is here. Where are you, Paul? I saw you commenting. Where is your comment? Where is your... Oh, there is Paul. Oh, my goodness. I've heard Tony and Brenda. There are more of these. They're hilarious, says Paul. Well, I actually envisioned Eileen to the left reading about Tony's nuts out loud in one of the Hotel Mercurio parties. I think the children will be very inspired to... behave in good childlike behavior, as children at Hotel Mercurio always behave. Let's see. I see a lot of oh my gods from you, and I think that's absolutely funny. Again, I wish I could play the whole videos so that you could watch them, but I'll give you the bookmarks. Ron asks, so are they kids' books or not? Well, Ron, in all fairness, I asked myself the same question, because I think they're supposed to be novelty books for adults, because I know that if I had a little baby girl daughter and I was reading it to her as a child, I'm sure she would not understand it. But as she grows older and older, I envision my 10-year-old daughter going to school and saying something like, well, my daddy always reads these books about putting nuts in my mouth. And I mean, she would be so freakingly harassed. It's not even funny. So would I dare to read that to my children or my nieces and nephews? Luna, do you want me to read you books about Brenda's beavers and things like that? I think Luna would not. Yeah, I didn't think so. See, Luna doesn't get into those kinds of things. So actually, no, we wouldn't want to read that kind of stuff to Luna. Yes, I know. Yes, I know it's a trick question, so shut up. Anyhow, that was my first bit for today. Again, we should all get a hold of these beautiful books just because they're very inspiring. And speaking of inspiration, I just know that YouTube is going to forward wonderful things to me during the week. Some of them I get to share with you. Some of them I don't. But I always want to make sure that if I find something that I think it's absolutely priceless or interesting or peculiar, I share it with you. And I want to share a little bit of fun things that I found in YouTube this week that are absolutely fantabulous. Starting with this quite unexpected version of the Pink Panther theme performed with 5 double basses. This is a double bass instructor, and he gets he gets his students to perform with him in collaborations. I forget his name, but I listened to the recording, and just, of course, I am sure you've heard the Pink Panther theme. I certainly hope you have. If not, you will become familiar with it on this recording. Now, I wonder if you know who composed the music for the Pink Panther, and I'm going to leave that question out in the air while I sip some coffee. And maybe some of you will know, maybe some of you will not, and we will get to that in a second. The second thing that I want to share with you that I discovered this week, well, actually, this is not new. I must confess, this is just something that I thought would go along well with what we're talking about. And this has to do with, switch back to that, and bam, this has to do with the second wonderful video that I discovered on YouTube. This would be Amadeus, the play by Peter Shaffer, as read by Murray Abraham, the actor, F. Murray Abraham, the actor who performed Salieri in the movie. He reads the whole play out loud, and it is absolutely wonderful. It's beautifully done. And of course, I see some of my friends know their music. Raymond Dunn, thank you very much. Linda and Jim, thank you very much for knowing about Henry Mancini. I could spend years talking about Henry Mancini because he is just wonderful. And you cannot see that I'm flashing these. There you go. So Amadeus is... and Karen even volunteers some singing. Thank you very much for that, Karen. Da-da. Anyhow, Amadeus is video number 2 that I discovered in YouTube that I'm going to share the URL so that you can check this out if you want. It probably wouldn't take a lot of wizardry to get the audio out of this video and put it into your iPhone and read it or listen to it as an audiobook. Anyhow, moving on to the third discovery. This requires a little bit of explanation. And this makes me feel so good. You know, think about all the music that gets lost through time because it was first notated in rocks, and the rocks got destroyed. And I'm talking about millions and millions and millions, well, not millions, but thousands of years ago. We don't know what ancient Greek music sounded like because it was notated on rock tablets, and these were lost. And then papyrus and paper were invented, and musical notation was discovered, but papyrus and paper rot. So much music gets lost through the passing of time. And then flash forward to the present time, or the not so present time. How about last century, the 20th century, when we started going to the movies and great music was composed for the first movies. And the first movies, the first musicals, of course, we know came to us in the 30s, the 40s. And because of the limitation of recording technology at the time, we did not have a proper way to record this music. And we would go to the movie theaters in the 30s and the 40s. Well, I was not even planned yet, but people would go to the movie theaters in the 30s and 40s, and they would listen to the music in these musicals through inadequate sound systems just because the technology was not in place. So what do we have? We have vaults of music scores from Golden Age musicals that we've never heard the way the composers and the arrangers intended them to be heard, because there was no technology to record or reproduce the music as it should be at the time. Enter a modern age musical archaeologist, and his name is John Wilson. John Wilson is a British orchestra conductor and arranger, and he has his own orchestra, the John Wilson Orchestra. And what John Wilson does is he takes all these music scores from old Cole Porter musicals, from old Rodgers and Hammerstein's musicals, and he digs them out and he gives them to his orchestra to play. So his CDs and his live performances are all this gorgeous music from the golden age of stage and cinema musicals, performed exactly the way they're meant to be performed, and of course recorded with state-of-the-art technology as we can enjoy today. So his recordings are absolutely priceless. He has a couple of CDs out. There are a bunch of concerts, full concerts that he's recorded in his English in England. So his proms concerts are available on YouTube, and they are absolutely wonderful. I am glad you are enjoying this, because you are absolutely speechless, not making any comments, so you must be either fascinated or completely bored. I'm moving right along. Let's see, what else do we have here? After John Wilson, we have, of course, we have the piece de resistance for today. And I want to tell you a little story of a wonderful instrument that you probably never even knew existed. And the name of this instrument is Lujon. Lujon. And when I first read this word, I didn't know if it was a Spanish word, and maybe it should be called Lujon. And I didn't know if it had to do with luxury, which in Spanish means lujo. Nope, this is a Lujon. It's a musical instrument. It's a percussion instrument. As you can see, this particular model has 6 different plates, so it can make 6 different sounds. And the Lujon is the, invention of William Loughborough, who was actually a research fellow at MIT. He was a researcher, he was an engineer who also happened to know a little bit about music, but he was as geeky as you probably can imagine. Linda is asking, where can you get the recordings? Hold your caballitos, Linda. Hold your horses. We get to that in the show notes. Anyhow, this guy, William Loughborough, invents the Lujon. Why is it called a Lujon? Well, this is an interesting question. I'm so glad you asked, because I'm going to introduce you to, actually, before we do that, let's listen to the Lujon so that you know what it sounds like. I forgot the order of my presentation. Check this out. And you didn't hear that, did you? So let me see why not. Da, 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 da. You were supposed to hear the Lujon. Hold on just a second. Let me go back to that. System audio is not muted. Okay. Were you able to hear? No sound. I knew it. Okay, let me see what I can do, because I'm not sure what I can do to make that sound. That is not fair. Not fair, not fair, not fair. Hold on. I know that I can fix this. Let me try that. Alex. Did you hear it now? Did you hear it this time? No? Shit. Oh, you think it's a sort? Yeah, it is a sort of a bass marimba, but I want you to be able to hear this, and I am not entirely sure how to do that. Hold on. I can do that. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat. I'm cheating, and let me see. Hold on. Do I have? Yes, I'm going to play a little bit of this. There you go. Okay, so let me play this. I'm almost there. Almost there. Oh, you heard it very, very soft. Well, that's not what I wanted. What I wanted was for you to hear this thing that I'm going to put on my screen. Hold on.
Right, quick demo. Soft mallets.
There you go. I think you heard that. I think you heard that. Ha ha ha. Anyhow, let me go back to my story because there's a story behind this, and I want to get to the meat and potatoes of my story, and I think I can figure out how to do this now. Anyhow, going back to my story. Bam! Okay, so we now know what the Lujon is called. We don't know why. Well, check out these 4 cats that are sitting here. And in these 4 cats, we're going to concern ourselves only with the piano player. And the piano player is none other than John Lewis. And John Lewis was the founder of the modern jazz quartet. So John Lewis was the first person to ever purchase the instrument from the inventor. So it is called a Lujon as a wordplay from John Lewis's name. John Lujon. Get it? Anyhow, moving right along, John Lewis is a pianist. He's a jazz pianist, and he is friends with none other than this guy. And this guy is Shelly Maine, or was Shelly Maine, and he used to play drums for Henry Mancini, who we were just talking about. And Henry Mancini, of course, we know him because he was the composer of the Pink Panther and many wonderful songs. Anyhow, he hears this instrument and decides to create a song. If he's fallen in love with the instrument, he buys one for himself, and he creates this one song in which he uses the instrument as a motif for this song. And let me play you what that motif sounds like. And I'm going to have to cheat again because I can see that I didn't adjust this properly. So let's hear this, and it sounds like this. Did you get that? Did you hear that beautiful sound? I think you heard that. Anyhow, that song, or that sound rather, became the basis of one of the most beautiful songs that Henry Mancini ever composed. And of course, the song is called Lujon. And it is one of the most central, most beautiful songs that you can imagine. And of course, what I'm going to leave you with is not only a link to Henry Mancini's original version, but I'm going to introduce you to another archaeologist, and his name is Dan Fontaine. Dan Fontaine, and now if this is playing, this is so bizarre. Okay, don't play it now. Anyhow, Dan Fontaine is another orchestra conductor. He is Australian, and he has his own orchestra. And just as John Wilson has been rescuing all these old music scores from Broadway musicals and from the golden age of the cinemas, the musicals in cinema, Dan Fontaine is taking a salute to the lush sound of 60s and 70s orchestras, and he is particularly, oh my God, what a great idea, Carmen Porras. Oh my God, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll go back to that comment. Anyhow, Dan Fontaine takes the music of Henry Mancini and again reproduces it and records it using today's methods and today's state-of-the-art equipment. And his recordings are absolutely central and just gorgeous. They're great music. So I'm going to share this with you sometime in the near future. And Carmen Porras has the most excellent idea to talk about Juan Garcia Esquivel, who is a Mexican composer, arranger like you've never heard. There's nobody in the entire world like Juan Garcia Esquivel. And I think, Carmen, that is a great idea. We will talk about about Esquivel sometime in the near future. I am a huge fan of his music and have been for many years. So I love that suggestion. Let me very quickly take a quick look at your comments so that I can see what you guys are thinking. And I know that I have some homework to learn how to play the presentations like I did and be able to get the sound go through. I have homework for today. Lovely. Yes, it does sound like a marimba, and I'm sure we've heard it a million times, but we never knew where it came from. Let's see. Bing, bam, 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 bam. Does anyone live near the OXXO near Licks downtown? Okay. I don't. I said Lujon, not lube job. I said Lujon, as in John Lewis. Bam, 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 bam. I see lots of great comments. Thank you so very much. So, oh, I see. My battery from my camera popped out and fell near the counter on the floor. If somebody finds it, that would be great. Okay. If anybody finds a battery camera at the OXXO near Licks, we know where it should go. That's basically it. That was Sunday Fun Day. Lots of music stuff. I hope you were inspired. I will get these links ready for you right this minute so that you can enjoy some of this music. And I'm really curious to get your opinion about Lujon, the song, because you may know it. And if you hear it and you already knew it, I would love to hear about it, because Lujon is like Tenet, like the movie. When we were talking about Tenet a couple of days ago, how you can go and see a film that has so many layers, you need to listen to watch it over and over again, just to peel each one of those layers and learn more from it. Well, Lujon, Henry Mancini's song, is exactly the same way. So the more I hear that song, the more it speaks to me, because of all the stuff that is going on, not only in the arrangement, but the choices that Henry Mancini makes for the melody and the harmony and stuff. It's just fascinating. My wish is to be able to talk about these things in a way that you can understand, so that we can all go, oh, wow, together. But not now. It is Sunday. It is time to wrap this up. So I hope you had a good time today. Tomorrow, as always, we come back with the report from our governor, Enrique Alfaro, for the COVID numbers for the region. Between now and then, stay dry, stay happy, stay well fed, stay kind, stay inspired, and stay in touch. Have a great day.